listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Today we will set up a company hierarchy, and probably the accounting details also. But before that, before you start a company or a cost center or an organization setup, you would need a reorg setup. Now, what is a reorg? A reorganization is nothing, a place where you capture all the transactions of a company in terms like what transition, not operation. Transition like when it was set up, when it was assigned to a company hierarchy, when the roles were assigned, all those activities, basically not even transition. What is not correct? Activities is like you can capture what happened to a company when it came into existence, on which date, who assigned the company to company hierarchy. Like an audit trail, basically we can say, of the companies. For that we have to go to a task called create reorg. Now this is what it's a little phrase. It's better. This will be the first task. And we will need organization all the time, reorg all the time. Whenever we'll create a new company cost center, we will need this. We'll create reorg. Reorg name. Let's think of a unique name. Let me think. Sugar kills. Let me some matter. Some matter is also there. Blinkit. Let's talk about Blinkit. Blinkity org. And the reorganization date will put us why the reorg date is important here. The reorg date is important because everything what will happen after this date would be captured here. Suppose you put 1800 and not 1900 means anything which happened after 1800 that will be captured in the system. I'm telling the system is that I'm creating a reorg under which I want to capture all of my computer connections or activities. Sorry? And that would be effective to learn in 1900. Anything which happened to a company whenever it was set up, when it was assigned to a company hierarchy. Please add the update as laws-online 1990 org. We'll just say here. Now, once that is done, we'll click on this. Three dots. We'll go to Integration ID. We'll click on this. Added reference ID. Now, this is a system-generated ID reference. ID like, as you can read the word reference. Workday is referencing this value with this number. We need this reference ID values. We'll see some examples in our accounting chapter. Then, when we load accounting journals in bulk, at that time we would need this to say, this is the reference ID or this is the ID. You should look into the system. We'll tell the system that this is the value you should look for. The system will not understand the text and everything. Specific instances. There, we have to define this reference ID, and whenever we set up a company, a customer, a supplier, will change their reference IDs. There's something happening with the connections we lost. Let's hit come again. It's back. We'll just say again link it underscore reorg like this. We'll change it. Will it here? Reorg is done. Now we'll get the company hierarchy. We'll say create company hierarchy. Reorg. As you can see, the moment you will create a company, it will ask for the reorg. We'll just put link it here. And by default, you will see the system would capture the effective data or the availability data 2019, that date which we had given in reorg here. A name. We'll name it like a Blinkit Holdings. Company hierarchy, and the code for this company hierarchy will say Blinkit Holdings. Company hierarchy BHCH or BHC, whatever you want to call it. And subtype. Include code in the name means bring this code whenever we'll search this name in the search bar. Show up this name also. Show up this code also before the name. Subtype would be a company. Visibility is everyone. Now we'll hit. And remember, we have to do this code in the reference. ID also. Let it come. We'll click on this three dots or related action here. Integration ID, added reference ID. And we'll call it as BHC. Rohol, a quick question. Even though it's system generated, you can give a custom reference ID. We can. There is no such restriction. But normally, like, it's very lengthy. And typically, if you're running the integration report and you copy pasting it, it's fine. But sometimes when you remember the code, it's easy. You can directly go and get a sheet and just put the small codes and works. But you can also give the reference ID generated by working. There is no such thing. Any question from anyone far? Please stop me. Whether you have any doubts, concerns, or not able to understand, or if I'm going very fast, let me know. I'll stop it here. Now we'll say create company. Then again, you have to give a reorg. We will say beat. 1 second, it was blank. By default, it picked the availability data 2019. We'll say link it, gross delivery. And we'll just give a code BGC here. Include code in the name. Subtype would be company. Now I have a question here. You have given the name as holding Blinkit Holdings. What is this now? Third one, Blinkit Grocery. Now that holding was the company hierarchy. The top level hierarchy under which we will assign this company. For example, you assign this to Blinkit Holdings. Yes, earlier I created the company hierarchy. Now I'm creating the company. Got. And company currency USD. Now an important point here. This company currency. You have to be very careful, like you have to put the currency here. Because what happens is, like, if any transaction happens for this company, be it like your customer invoice, supply invoice, or you post a manual accounting journal, or you use account posting rule set for this company, then you won't be able to change the company currency. While doing the implementations or configurations, make sure the company currency is correct. We have seen the cases where people did mistake and they were not able to change the company currency. It happens not during the site TUAD phases, because that time we are very much sure that what is the company currency. After go live, when you acquire a new company, setting up a new company, and you're in a hurry, or the person who's doing that is in a hurry, and they put a wrong currency, it will just not change once they hit a transaction. Be very careful with this company currency part. And the same code we'll have to give now in the code here. Our company setup will become these three dots. We'll go to integration ID and its reference ID. Now we'll add this company as a favorite. Now, if you look at the security groups and roles here, it's blank here because we are not assigned anyone anything on this company, not like APNS, ERNS, because we are not done even the entire setup here. Now, security flows from top to bottom here. What it means that whatever you assign at the company hierarchy level will also get inherited to the company level also. I'll give you a demo in just few minutes from now that whatever we'll assign at the company hierarchy holdings level, that will get inherited to the company level automatically. You don't have to do anything yet. Now, what other things should we do now? We'll add the contact details for this company. We'll say company again. Three dots, company added. Company contact information. Let's add a US number here. And the phone device will say it's a mobile and it's a primary means the main phone number for this company. And this would be used for your billing limit to shipping. We'll just say 15th cross or 100th cross, whatever it is. One Ross. That's speed. Queenstown. State New York. Postcode, let's say. And this is primary here. And for what purpose this address would be used? Billing, parameter, shipping, mailing, street address, text reporting also. Storage also. You can choose whatever the applicable options, and there is no restriction on how many addresses and phone numbers. You can add unlimited numbers. I've seen 18 addresses also, 20 addresses also. There is no such restriction by working. Then we'll add the email, which is important. Link it. Add mail come. family, billing and shipping, procurement. Now you will see an address would show here. Organization here, and we can see the address here. It's getting hang here. I'm not sure why. Earlier the address was not there. But this is reflecting now here. The currency is USD. This is the phone number. Now we'll do some other things. Now we'll add the text ID details. Like what is the text ID like? In India we have GST and VAT IDs. Same like for any company. There would be a VAT ID or the station ID. Then there will be registration. ID and VAT IDs are different. You can go to added company text details here. And you will text ID here. Then you can add the text ID here. For example, United States, I'll say USA here. America, text ID type, I'll say my Gloria ID number. I'll give some numbers here. And I would mark this as my primary text ID also. Remember this text ID here. Let me add the ownership details also. You can add the ownership details also. Like who is the owner of a company. Basically, if you see startups these days, they don't get money from themselves. They get funding, seed funding, funding around A, B, C, whatever it is, from big venture capitalists who holds a lot of money, holds a lot of cash. Those companies invest in the startups. They own the company like Zomato paid. They are not owned by the Indian companies or Indian CEOs. They just work there now. The majority of the ownership or the stakeholder equity is owned by the Chinese companies or the Chinese capitalist people. That's why like who is the owner of a company. If you want, you can define an ownership here. Let's see here. A. Ownership is 100% here. Like how much they own. They can be like 5, 6 partners also, 5 companies also, who owns this company. Accordingly, you can define the ownership like 10% to 8%. Then how much income they would get from this company's revenue percent. Now let me see other things. If the cable here for current options we'll discuss later on. We'll come to options that will not be now. And it comes on. ID definition is one thing we'll do. This will take time. Now you see here by default, if we create any customer voice or document, this will show the number like this. What if you want to define your own numbers for transactions? Suppose you want to create a customer voice and you want to like customer voice 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, like that. Or customer noise hash blanket hash solemn 1. If you want to customize that invoice number, this is the place you will do it. Let me just come to this customer contract and go here. Create ID definition. Sequence generator here. Sequence name. We'll say blanket customer contract. We're just naming it now. The exec will start here. Increment sequence ID bias. After 1, what is next? Add 1 2, add 1 3, add 1 4. Padding the gap between the numbers. I'll say 4 here. Sequence ID format. It will be like this. Customer invoice. Blanket. See. This is the format you have to use. You have to first define the name or the code, whatever you want. Then, in bracket, you have to mention sequence. And after that, things will start. If I remove C, 4 zeros are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 after 2 zeros. If I remove 1, 0, you see here. And if I just remove padding here 1, this will be like this. It's 100. After 0, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. Once it ends 9999, the number comes. If it has to restart, what will the restart frequency? Time-based reset frequency. We don't put it here normally. Restart number. No, we'll not do that. Automatically no padding here. But remember, this is a customer contract. We just have to change it. I just customer contract. And then you can copy this and this is done similarly for customer voices. And all this will create the ID sequencer network here. Create ID definition sequencer network. And this is customer invoice. We'll just say bringing customer invoice. We will get customer invoice. Equation is going to vary by 1. And this was 2 1, I believe. And then we have 2, yes, like this. Customer invoice. Customer invoice blanket. This will be Zandre. Then consolidated customer invoice. We'll talk about this later on. Let's create for the customer invoice also. We'll just get a little sense of clarity of knowledge here. Increment sequence by 1. That will be supplier invoice. Land customer refunds. Manually, we are doing this for one company, but when we do this in bulk using EFPs and iLoad. It's like a big activity. We have to be very careful with this. Now we are just selecting any format, any name, but it would be decided by the client what they want to see. They want to continue their legacy system's numbers of the format, or they want to use a different one. Rahul, quick question. While doing bulk, are they using some sort of flat file, CSV? What are they using? They're using Excel file EIB, SQL generator. There's one EIB also for this one. But the data? Where is the data? They're bringing it. They are getting data from the client itself. but from legacy system. But is it in the form of flat file? Normally it would be flat file. I'm sorry, Ivy, you said. No worries. Yes, we need it. Yes, this also should be needed. And then purchase orders. Purchase order. Because any font is left is order. Ash equals 0. And purchase order acknowledgement. Yes, that's what I learned. Yes. Once you've noticed there. And again, and then I go to seats. Yes. Yes, it was yes. Yes, for now, I think this is the last one. Supply and workforce. Let's do this also. Yes. Yes, this is done. We have done the idea. Configuration now will do accounting setup. Added company accounting details. This is very important. For now, I'll just select the values and then I will explain you one by one all the things. Let me quickly first of all set up values here. 22. We should have 22 now also, but that is fine. Standard called Shedik. Shedik is empty here. This is not. Let's see, wait, we'll do something here. Go to an existing company. We'll look for the accounting details here and just copy the same. We'll use this one. Account set as CFA. We'll use CFA here. See. Then account control will set standard corporate controls. What the hell? Great, now let's talk about each of them one by one. Fiscal schedule. Fiscal schedule is nothing. Now, few words would be a little bit different when we talk about Workday. For example, months. We call them months. Jan, February, March, April, May, June, July. These are months for us. We always call them months. In Workday, we call them as periods. January period, February period, March period, April period. Fiscal schedule is nothing but your financial year. In financial year, you would have a year. If I just open this in new tab, you can see a name of the fiscal schedule. The fiscal year. Obviously, every financial year would have a number. For example, 2022. This 2022 starts on 1st of January, ends on 31st of December. This is one thing. Now remember, there can be what you call it. Companies like in India who follow the financial year from 1st of April to 31st of March. Then you will get a different fiscal schedule because this is a US based company that we are creating now. That's why we are following a fiscal schedule of 1/1/2031. But for Indian companies, it would be somewhere around 1st of April to 31st of March. Now this is like I just picked up automatic. It doesn't mean it will be always there. No, when you do implementations, you build it from scratch. Entire things, all these things from scratch. And how do you do that? I'll just show you. We will not use it because this is a complicated one. I'll just show you how to create these fiscal schedules. Create fiscal schedule. Now this is a task. Create fiscal schedule. And you say demo fiscal schedule part 1. Or fiscal schedule. Auto-populate fiscal periods. Now under the fiscal schedule, you have to create fiscal year also. Create initial fiscal year. You have to create the fiscal year for this one first. Here is the task. Create period schedule. Create period schedule fiscal year. Fiscal year. Yes, let's do this. Wait, we have to do some qualifications. Why this year is not coming? Wait. Fiscal schedule is done. Why is not coming here? Fiscal schedule. That's fine. Why would demo is not coming here? Let's debug that fiscal. I'm meaning posting intervals. You have to give the fiscal posting interval name like Jan Fab, all those things. We have to create all this posting interval like on which month you will post the increase. And period, as I said, is like your month. I will say March. First three alphabets are required. It's a standard one across different implementations. Be it anything well. Like always, usually September. After the fiscal schedule, this is the second task, maintain fiscal schedule posting intervals. This is the third step now. First, create fiscal schedule. Second, you create what are the tasks, maintain fiscal schedule, posting intervals. You create the months. Third, you come to this graduation fiscal year. Fiscal year number, you will say 22. Fiscal year name, you will just get the same here. A fee start date will say 01D.192. And then first time you have to give this like end dates to all this month. We'll just say Jan and we all know on 31st. This time it had 20 days. That is fine. March we all know is 31 days. April we know it's like 0430. May have 7 days. Really 132. June has 30 days. June is 30 days. July has 7 days. We are correct, don't worry. The first time you have to give. Next time onward, it will just get automatically. Because remember, we are clicking on that auto forwarded fiscal schedule. That will do once you create initial fiscal year. This is September 30 days. And November is 11. December will just say 12. Merry Christmas. Our fiscal year is done. Now if I go to next fiscal year, create next fiscal year. Now you see the magic here. Fishman demo S. And by default, see it has captured all the months ended here automatically. First time you do this, after that every year we just put the end dates automatically. You don't want to do anything. We just say 23 here. Now if you go to view fiscal schedule, you would say demo phase. You can see it has 2 years now. 23 starts on this one, 23 starts on this one and this one. Clear with this. Let's close this tab here. The next one is account set. What is an account set? Account set is nothing but a collection of your ledger accounts, a place where you create all your ledger accounts. Let me open this new tab. Let it come completely. As you can see, it has 2 notes and ledger accounts. These are the ledger account numbers. These are the ledger account names. And income expense assets. These are different account types. Leisure account types like basically your income, expense, P&L, balance sheet accounts, assets, liability, equity. Is everyone clear? What is a ledger account? What is an account set? What is account set? Oh, it's nothing. It's like a child account set. A child account set. This would be a parent account set, and then you can have more accounts set underneath it. If you want additional, if you want additional child account set. If you open this app here, this is just one ledger account. Account set is this, and this just has only one ledger. Maybe for special cases where you want to create a separate ledger account set that you can do and add it under the parent account set. But clear this part. If you want to create more accounts, then you can go and do it in the first one. I'll show you now. And then we'll take a pause and we'll do the mini introduce tomorrow. For account set, the task again is very easy. And create set. Here you'll give it a name like, let's say MOFS. Account set. And then again, you can include account sets whatever you want. And then you can get a number here. It will be like identifier. You can say Lalumo. Account set equity holding. And this would be equity. And let's do like, if you want to define it for a particular company, say it can be only used with Blinken. Then you can mention the ledger account also, Blinken Grocery Holdings and on. If you want to retire this, click on this checkbox. And it here. Account set is ready. And then you go back and add more and more ledger accounts. If you want to add more ledger accounts, you go to account set. And click on this one added here or this button here. And this time a small window pop up like this. And you will say 1001. Account set. Account set is nothing but account name, let's say asset. The account type would be asset. And then you are done. This would be added here. Clear with this, everyone. You can create like assets. You can create fixed assets, current assets. Whatever you want, if you just look at the main account set that we are creating now. Let me hide this. Hide floating different rows. If I just go back here and close it. If you open this account set, there are 2 to 7 other accounts in it. Let it come. And you can see it's being used by 72 companies now in the system. That's also you can see from here. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@upptalk.com.